news for you. With the smug... They are hosting an auction in the desert to sell canned knowledge about those ruins.
The Court of Desolation. I won't ask how you came by this intel, but is it reliable?
We also heard that the Court of Desolation contains treasures from the time of King Deshret. Is that true?
Partially. It was a secret place built by a dark sect from the age of King Deshret. The ruins do contain treasures, but the place is also rife with unknown dangers. According to past research, one must forfeit their life as the price of entering. They are not some ordinary ruins, so the Academia has strictly prohibited any related research. However, if they are using the canned knowledge as a way to move information and recruit researchers, then I suppose your conclusion does hold some validity. Regardless, we need to go into the desert. Less in recent years, but there are always those who attempt to do so, both inside and outside the Academia. After all, legends claim that whoever obtains the treasures inside can see beyond life and death, or even resurrect the dead. Death is often the greatest grievance for many people. Though they're fully aware that the chance of these rumors being true are slim, they hold tight to such fantasies and pursue them regardless. That's why some continue to research it, regardless of it being a restricted subject. On top of that, it's hard to track the source of information contained in canned knowledge. Do you know where the auction is taking place? Good. We'll go investigate. But before that, we'll have to get rid of these people tailing us.
Huh? People tailing us?
That's right. Let's begin to leave town and see what happens. I'm sure they'll reveal themselves as soon as we make a move. Don't worry. I'll make short work of them.
That's Sino for ya. But we can lend a hand too, you know.
Hold it right there. Heading to the desert, are we? I would think twice if I were you.
Huh? Who are you?
That doesn't matter. All you... Too late to turn back. You must be Sino. I've heard a lot about you. You've got quite a reputation. But this time you're in over your head. Unless you turn around right now, I'm afraid that even you won't return unscathed. And as for you two, why bother sticking your noses in trouble that doesn't even concern you? Hmm?
That's right! We won't just sit back and do nothing!
Ha! Have you really thought it through? You're not just doing this for recognition, are you, Sino? My employer said that he's willing to compromise as long as you just walk away. He could, for example, reduce the amount of canned knowledge on the market. I'm sure that would help your investigation appear to be successful enough. On top of that, he's willing to give you a cut of the profit. So you see, you get both Mora and a boost to your reputation. I can't think of a reason why you would pass that up.
Is that so? Well, I can't think of a reason why I'd accept. I've heard enough. Get out of my way.
Sorry, no can do. We're getting paid to ensure you disappear. Since you won't turn back willingly, then we're gonna have to make you go back.
That's following up.
New punching bag. Need that!
Well played. Nowhere to run! Through me, justice is served!
This doesn't change anything. You're in over your head, Sino. There will be others coming for you. You'll regret it. Let's get out of here!
No need. Even if we apprehend them, there'll be little information to gain. Besides, it might also be a trap. I apologize for bringing you into this dangerous mess. Just being associated with me will inevitably cause you to become targets as well. You should be careful from now on. Sleep with one eye open.
Wait, hold on! There's no way anyone could sleep without closing their eyes? Right?
You'd be surprised. Anyway, just be careful. Mercenaries are never quick to forget. In their line of work, even a single failure is bad for reputation. They may even... waiting for the right moment to ambush you. They'll do anything to keep their prestige intact. Yes. I remember it like it was yesterday. I was carrying out a mission with one of my superiors. I didn't have much experience at the time, and I let my guard down after we had closed the case. We ended up being attacked by the remainder of the mercenaries. My superior was injured while protecting me, and we struggled to gain control of the situation. I've become more vigilant ever since, staying alert even while I sleep.
Whoa! Who could have seen that coming? Was he okay?
He survived with a fractured wrist. It took 2 months for him to recover. But luckily, there weren't any further complications. Last year, he transferred to an administrative role for personal reasons, and no longer participates in live missions. His name is Taj Radkani, a very well-respected Matra. You'll have the chance to meet him someday. Anyway, our mission will be dangerous. I'm already used to such grueling conditions, but I don't want to see you two get hurt.
Don't worry, Paimon will stay alert. We'll see danger coming a mile away.
Good. Don't worry. It won't be long till we're at the bottom of this. And once this is all over, I'll sweep away any other hidden dangers.
I wonder when I'll be as tall as my big sister.
La da 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 da. La da 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 da.
Everyone is working super hard. We should be too. La da 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 da. I wonder when I'll be as tall as my big sister.
So hot. If only there was some shade for us to cool off under.
We still have a long way to go, so you'll need to hang in there for a while longer. This is not a good place to rest anyway.
Okay. But don't you feel hot too, Sino?
Of course, but I'm accustomed to these conditions.
Care to share any tips? Paimon's about to melt away.
Just try to stay focused. Use your willpower to support your mind. The moment you start to give in is when you'll feel more tired. Take one step after another. Don't let your mind perceive your body's limitations. We must get somewhere safe before we can relax.
Okay, if you say so. But where would be a more safe place to rest? Paimon... Look around, it's just sand and desert. There aren't any monsters for miles around. Whoa! Where did these scorpions come from?
Watch out. Something's not right about them.
Careless. Nothing to fear. Careless. Careless.
Let the show begin.
Well, Paimon really didn't expect to see those here.
Those weren't just normal scorpions. See? There are marked numbers on their pincers. They were raised by someone. Someone doesn't want us to show up at the auction. These scorpions were sent to keep us away. We are surrounded by desert as far as the eye can see. If we were killed out here, nobody would ever know.
This place is super dangerous. Good thing we didn't let our guard down.
Something's not right. There are no roads in the desert, so how could they know where we are? Stay still. Here's the answer. They must have planted this on you.
Huh? What is it?
A miniature tracking device made by the Ksharawar. They can use this to discern your approximate location. But this device wasn't licensed for mass production. Where did they get it? Could someone from the Ksharawar also be involved? But that doesn't seem right.
Whoa! Paimon never knew that kind of thing even existed! Why would it be on him?
They probably planted it on the Traveler during our fight with the mercenaries earlier. was a frantic fight. It's only natural you didn't notice the device.
Well, good thing you were able to find it, Sino. Now let's get rid of it.
No. Hold on to it for now. It might still be useful for us. Let's keep heading to the auction. It would be dangerous to linger here any longer.
They're back again! How many of them are there? Weird. Is this where the auction is? Yeah, not a single soul. Maybe they're on break right now or something.
We didn't waste any time getting here after we defeated those mercenaries. They shouldn't have been able to give any warning of our arrival. But even so, they still knew we were coming. Someone here must have been watching the tracker and warned everyone to clear out.
Aw, what should we do now?
We searched the area. They couldn't have moved all the knowledge capsules so quickly. There might still be something left for us to find.
All right, let's take a good look around the area.
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember.
Did you find anything?
No, nothing
It's possible there weren't many knowledge capsules containing info about the Court of Desolation, so they carried those off. But don't worry. I have another idea. You two start heading back the way we came. I will remain hidden here. Come back and meet me here after some time has passed. I'm sure something will come up by then. They packed up in a hurry and didn't have time to carry off all their goods. They won't just leave them here. Once they think we've left the premises, they'll be back to pick up their belongings. We just need to make sure the tracker goes far enough from here to make them assume that it's safe to come back.
Oh, Paimon gets it! We'll lure them out because they'll think we've left! Okay, we'll start heading away and leave this place to you.
Yes, and don't worry. If they dare to return, I'll make sure they stay.
Ugh, so tired. We've probably gone far enough now, right? Yay! Let's rest for a little while before we go back to find Sino. It's probably about time for us to head back to the auction. Let's go! Maybe Sino's finally found some leads!
Boats are made for transferring commodities back and forth, and those that come across Liyue tend to stay a while. So it is where many things come to settle.
bad guy behind all this, aren't ya? Alright, tell Paimon everything you know!
I didn't act immediately when he showed up. Rather, I laid low and observed for a while instead. He is not the primary instigator, but he is most likely one of the more important dealers here. Am I right?
Yes, impressive. You certainly live up to your reputation, Sino. If I had any idea you were still around, I wouldn't have gotten so greedy.
Huh? Greedy? What do you mean by that?
Once everyone knew you were coming, all the canned knowledge dealers abandoned their goods and fled at once. Obviously, there wasn't time to pack up everything. Since all the goods were just left here unsupervised, I thought I'd use the opportunity to come back and take what I could. You know, free merchandise is good business, but I suppose there's no use explaining it now.
You must know who's manufacturing and selling the canned knowledge, correct? Will you tell us willingly? Or do I need to make you talk?
No, I'll talk. But before that, perhaps we can take the conversation elsewhere? If we stay here, chances are that someone will see me with you. That would put both me and my family in danger.
All right. Where do you suggest we go?
How about my home in Aru Village? It should be safe there.
Fine.
Listen, buddy, you better not try to trick us!
Come on now. Do you really think I'd try to pull anything under Sino's watch? Seriously, what can I even do?
Osmanthus wine.
You're back! Oh, we have guests? Hi there.
This is my daughter, Simin. She can be a little shy of strangers. Why don't you run along now, dear? Dad needs to talk with our guests.
Oh, okay.
Everyone knows Sino in our business, but let me ask, who are you two?
Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler!
To be honest, I really didn't expect to see Sino, the lone operator, working with any partners. When I saw the tracker start moving away, I assumed you had decided to just go back empty-handed. But even though you caught me, I'd still urge you to stop while you still can.
Why is that?
Everything from the manufacturing of canned knowledge to the sales and even splitting the profits. Every step of the process involves dozens, if not hundreds of people. Massive profits have brought everyone together in this business. Everyone will try their best to defend this industry that we've worked to build. It will be a long and difficult fight, even for you, Sino. And even if you manage to win in the end, no one will thank you. If anything, you yourself might even feel remorse. Why are you so bent on putting us out of business?
Everyone has their own reasons for what they do. I don't have to explain mine.
Here's some tea, Dad. And for the guests, too.
Right. I forgot to offer tea to our guests. Thank you.
Don't mention it. And, I should tell you that our tea tastes kind of bitter, but I put some sugar in to make it a little tastier.
That's my girl. Do we still have any sugar left? If not, I'll buy some more next time.
Yes, we do. Okay. I'm gonna go have a rest now.
Didn't you say that everyone's in it for the massive profits? That sure doesn't seem to be the case for you.
Actually, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. I was hoping to ask you for a favor. My daughter was born with a chronic disease, so she has a relatively weak heart and lungs. Even slightly strenuous exercise can cause her to faint and prove to be a life-threatening risk. That's why she never really had any friends to play with, and why she locks herself up in her room most of the time. As for me, I was just an average merchant. I would wake up early and travel all around to make a profit. But the Mora was still nowhere near enough. I could only watch my daughter's health deteriorate day by day. Until one day, someone reached out and showed me a way to really make a profit.
Selling canned knowledge?
That's right. With all the Mora I made, I could finally afford medical treatment for my daughter. Nothing made me happier than seeing her get better. There are many others like me. Smuggling canned knowledge might seem like an unforgivable crime to you, but to us, it's a means of survival. I wanted to tell you all this so that maybe you could understand and change your mind. Please, stay out of this, Sino. Give us a way to survive.
Oh no. That means that if we prevent the sale of canned knowledge, his daughter will...
I must get to the truth. I can find someone to help treat your child, but I cannot turn a blind eye to the smuggling. These are two completely different issues.
I somehow knew you would say that. But having your word to help my daughter is enough for me. Since you insist on continuing the investigation, you should have a look around the back of my home. You'll find some goods I received just recently. I think everything will become clear to you once you see them.
Whoa! Look at all of this!
Yes, all neatly packed away and organized in boxes. To think that this is only one dealer's worth. Small producers couldn't possibly support such a large quantity of goods. Could the Academia have a hand in this? But such a volume of goods wouldn't be able to slip through inspection.
Huh? Look! These seem different from the other knowledge capsules we've seen. Maybe they contain knowledge about the Court of Desolation.
Yes, that would make sense. Wait, what's this? Yes, it's a Matra seal, indicating that the goods have passed Matra inspection. I started to suspect that someone in the Academia might be involved when I found the tracker earlier. But how they could ship so much canned knowledge out of the academia was still a mystery. The pieces have now all fallen into place. With this Matra seal, goods can leave the academia without undergoing a second inspection. No wonder they don't want me to investigate. It turns out that I'm... Could I ask you for a favor, Traveler? Since all this canned knowledge came from the academia, then it's highly likely that the knowledge regarding the Court of Desolation originated from research files stored within the academia. If we can enter the repository, we can find out who accessed these files. But, considering my current status, if I suddenly show up at the academia now, it will only draw unnecessary attention. You'll need to be the one who checks the records. I'll write a letter to Nabil, and he'll take you there.
Sure thing! Leave it to us!
I'll also keep working here in the meantime. Although our leads are all currently pointing to someone within the academia, it's obvious that they also have power outside of it. We can get more information on other dealers from Bahari. I'll stay here and make some preparations. You can come find me anytime if you uncover more info.
If you start sniffing around the academia, it won't be long before people catch on to you. And once word gets out...
Don't worry. I'll find them before things escalate that far. But if you still feel uneasy, then why don't you tell me about anyone else you know who was involved? The more information I have, the safer you will be.
All right.
Hello, we meet again. Have you managed to find Sino? If so, how's he doing? I read the letter, and must admit that I hadn't expected things to be so serious. Sorry. Had I known it would be so dangerous, I never would have gotten you two involved.
It's alright. We wanted to help Sino too.
I can tell that he really trusts you. The research files stored away in the restricted repository are far from ordinary. Everything there is essentially about dangerous research that's forbidden by the academia. Even I don't usually have authorization to enter. But with this letter from Sino, that's right. Granted, the academia is very supportive when it comes to research. They encourage scholars to conduct all kinds of studies. However, some forms of research have proven to be so dangerous that the Matra have to step in and put a stop to them. Normally, after some particular research becomes prohibited, the majority of the related files will be destroyed. But some information may be retained as a record to warn later researchers. Such information is kept in the restricted repository, which is heavily guarded. Follow me, I'll show you. Hopefully, we'll find the answers that Sino is looking for.
The restricted repository. Sounds kinda dangerous. We'd better keep an eye out.
Closed-door research projects are a complete waste of money.
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
Those closed-door research projects are a complete waste of money. Those closed-door research projects are a complete waste of money.
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
Those closed-door research projects are a complete waste of money. Those closed-door research projects are a complete waste of money.
Okay, I understand. Since Sino is vouching for you, I suppose we can trust you. You may browse the information regarding the Court of Desolation. Ask me if you have any questions. But I'd suggest avoiding any other research files. Sometimes the less you know, the better.
So this is the restricted repository. I never thought I'd see the inside of it. This is a first for both you and me.
There are many who do not openly converse with others within the academia. But even so, there are very few who I feel could be trusted with a real secret. Sino happens to be one of them. Even though he's no longer in the academia, I still trust him. And that goes for anyone he trusts as well. The files are over there. Just make it quick.
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory? Where do you want to go next? If you'd like to see Liyue's tourist spots, I have a few references. Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory? Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory? Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
Whoa, there's a lot to read here. Have you found anything yet? Huh. It reminds Paimon of Sino's former partner.
His former partner? That would be Taj Radkani. But you're not far off. Mortada Radkani was Taj's only son.
What? Taj's son went to prison for researching the Court of Desolation?
Why do you sound so surprised? You're a Matra, aren't you?
It's just that they arrested him in secret, so it was never publicly known. All I knew was that Taj's son was taken to prison. It's not just me. I bet even Sino didn't know about it.
No. Unfortunately, there isn't. He took his own life not long after he went to prison. You've heard about Taj, right? I know Nabil has. I would say he's probably pushing 50 this year, which makes him one of the most experienced Matra. He is a man of integrity and honesty, and has made countless achievements. His reputation goes back a long way now. He used to be Sino's only partner. Taj is also skilled with the polearm, so the two of them used...
Ah, right. I heard Sino mention that before. But one day, Taj suddenly decided to retire from active duty and transfer to an administrative position. I wonder if it had anything to do with the Mortada incident.
Taj was already very well known by the time Mortada was born. So when Mortada came to study at the Academia, everyone had high expectations of him. He had to face a lot of pressure. Then he had an unpleasant dispute with his father, but they were eventually able to work things out. Not long after they had reconciled, Mortada was caught studying the Court of Desolation, which is in violation of Academia rules. Taj arrested his son and put him behind bars. He begged for leniency, but Taj wouldn't agree. Shortly after, Mortada slit his own throat with the pieces of a broken bowl. By the time Taj arrived at the scene, it was already too late. He never had a last chance to see his son. Since then, Taj has been periodically coming to the repository. He'll hold the files from his son's research with a remorseful look on his face. I guess that's why he chose to move to administrative work.
I had no idea that happened. That must be really hard for Taj. I've never heard him mention that to anyone.
That's awful. Paimon feels terrible now. Are you okay, Traveler?
Wait, don't tell me you're starting to suspect Taj now. Impossible. Taj would never do that. I mean, yes, he does have a big reputation and has access to such research, but this is Taj we're talking about. He would never do anything against regulations. Never.
But if you claim that the canned knowledge was originating from the academia, then Taj is indeed a suspect. Because he was the only one who could have recently gone through research files about the Court of Desolation. There are so many files about those ruins that it would be difficult to restart any research, since the 7 original researchers were put behind bars. It's hard enough just trying to make sense of these files. However, if the files were made into canned knowledge, they could be understood immediately. By doing so, one could restart the research outside the academia without anyone ever noticing.
But even so...
According to the legends, the treasures inside the Court of Desolation could allow someone to see beyond life and death. Or even bring the dead back to life, right? So maybe Taj is trying to bring Mortada back. Though I don't really believe Taj would ever try to do something like that. I'm just telling you what I know. It's the job of the Matra to find the truth and track down criminals. Do you have any questions? If not, it'd be best if you would leave now.
Paimon's kinda confused.
Oh, now that I think about it, Sino suspected that the canned knowledge was coming from within the academia, right? There's no way so many boxes could ever get through without drawing any attention. Maybe we could try asking people around the gate of the academia and see what we can find. Don't worry, Tosh. I won't let your reputation be tarnished.
Alrighty then, let's go ask around.
Excuse me, have you seen any large shipments of goods leaving the academia recently?
Huh. Well, yes, but isn't that pretty normal? The academia consumes so many resources each day. Everything from cooking ingredients, raw materials, even equipment for experiments. It's normal for goods to be coming in and out.
Right, but we're looking for shipments with a Matra seal. Have you seen any like that?
That I'm not too sure of. I normally wouldn't notice whether the goods have any seals or not. Maybe you should ask someone else.
Excuse me, have you seen any large shipments of goods leaving the academia recently?
No, not that I'm aware of. Perhaps you could ask someone else?
Excuse me, have you seen any large shipments of goods leaving the academia recently?
Huh? Why do you ask?
I'm just checking to ensure nothing unusual has happened.
Well, I can't say it's unusual, but I did notice something. There's a Kashar researcher who's been making frequent shipments recently. Dozen of large boxes each time, if not more. When I asked him about it, he said they just contained a bunch of old worn-out machines. The Kashar Rawar used to often sell scrap machines to traveling merchants, so I didn't really think anything of it. But he's been making a lot of shipments lately. There weren't ever so many outdated machines before.
And you didn't find that suspicious? Why didn't you report it for inspection?
Well, the boxes were stamped with a Matra seal. Why should I bother? Of course, I did start to wonder about the seal once, thinking that maybe they forged it or something. But you know what happened? A man named Taj came here and told me that he'd already inspected the goods personally and ordered me to leave the researcher alone. I couldn't question his word, could I?
Impossible. There must be some sort of mistake. There's no way Taj would ever... No, I won't believe it. Taj is an honorable man. Someone must be trying to frame him. Wait, I know another Matra who works with Taj. I can ask him to let us speak with Taj.
As I've already told you, I don't have any way to contact Taj. A few Eremites showed up looking for Taj yesterday, and he met with them in his office. I was standing outside of the door, and I vaguely heard them say, "Found it." Before I realized it, the door opened, and Taj left with the group of them. I noticed that he had also changed into Eremite attire. But Taj didn't come to work today, so I've also started to feel a little concerned about the whole thing. If you'd like to speak with him, maybe you can try visiting his home. He lives just on the outskirts of Sumeru City.
A group of Eremites? Could Taj really be the one making all the canned knowledge?
No way. Taj is just like Sino. They're considered heroes among the Matra. There's no way that he would... Fine. Looks like there's no other choice.
Hey, don't let it get to you just yet. We'll get to the bottom of this once and for all.
So, this is Taj's place. There doesn't seem to be anyone here.
Well, what should we do then? Do we break in?
No. Wait, the door's unlocked. Did Taj leave in a hurry? Well, anyway, we're still not sure if he's the real culprit. Probably not a good idea to go in without permission. You're right. Even if we apply for a warrant now, we won't be able to do anything until tomorrow at the earliest. This is an emergency. I just hope Taj doesn't mind. What's this?
It's a paper full of names written on it. Oh, and a map. Nabil, can you make any sense of this?
Yes. This is definitely Taj's handwriting. These papers look like records. These are the transactions between Taj and some other people. From the look of the numbers, the scale of this smuggling case is absolutely massive. The whole operation involves more than 300 people, including dozens of celebrities. These are famous scholars, merchants, mercenaries. I have a feeling that Sino might be unaware of what he's up against. There's no way anyone could face such a large organization on their own. You're right, that's just who he is. As for the map, it appears to indicate the location of the Court of Desolation. Let's take it to Sino and let him decide how to proceed. Taj really has turned on his honor and committed these terrible acts, then I suspect that he might already be at the Court of Desolation as we speak. I don't want to suspect him, but I also don't know him very well. Maybe Sino will know what to do.
All right, we'll give these to Sino and see. Let's go! Well, Sino, what do you make of it?
Taj. It's been a while since I last saw him. From what I remember, he is a straight-laced man. Although he would resort to extreme measures from time to time, he would never do anything against his beliefs.
So do you think he's the one behind all this?
I'm still not sure. I cannot imagine how devastating the incident with Mortada was for him. Nor can I deny the possibility that people can change. Whether it's out of love for his son or for other reasons, we have to see for ourselves to judge him. Or rather, the person he's become. That's right. It's clear that he had a hand in this case, yet he made no report of it. There's no doubting that. That's also why I need to see him. I must ask his reasoning and judge him myself. Time is ticking. Let's go.
So this is the Court of Desolation. Are there really any treasures buried here? Oh, Paimon's kinda nervous. Could it be dangerous?
Don't worry. You'll be safe with me.
Stabilize!
Look! These walls have definitely seen better days. Was there some sort of fight here? Let's keep going and see what we can find. Whoa! Is it just Paimon? Or did that passageway just rotate? It's not gonna start moving again, is it? Either way, we should be careful. A passage! Hopefully that's our way in. That eye seems to be staring right at us. This place gives Paimon the creeps. You go first.
Stabilize!
Futile! One with my blade!
Let's dance!
Tosh.
Ah, Sino. It's been some time since I've seen you last. I trust you are doing well. Seeing that you've made it all the way here, you must be on the cusp of wrapping up your investigation, I presume. Even faster than I expected. Is it because you have some new partners now?
That's right. This case is nearly closed. But the most important answer still eludes me. Was it all your doing? Smuggling the canned knowledge? The research of the Court of Desolation?
Yes, it was me.
Then explain why.
That's the difficult part. Let's just say I've changed. I've become a selfish coward who only wants to pursue his own interests.
I find that hard to believe.
Oh, really? Way I see it, every person will end up like me sooner or later. When you're young, you press forward, unattached, living solely for the justice in your heart. But as you begin to age, you start to become more cautious. You know many things are wrong, but still turn a blind eye to them. I was the same. I never questioned my actions until Murtada died. I could feel the justice that I once strived to uphold slowly crumbling in my heart. I was completely dedicated to all that I did, but as I grew older, I found myself feeling alone, miserable. Can you imagine what it feels like to not have the will to live, but not be able to die? Murtada was sent to prison by my own hands. I set myself on this painful path. My son hated me till the day he died, and now I must live with that pain and regret. I failed him as a father. But now I have a chance to make it right. A chance to reunite with him. The Court of Desolation. Here lies the key to overcoming life and death. The power to even bring the dead back to life.
So, did you already find what you needed here?
See this door behind me? Behind it lies the treasures that I seek. I'm so close, Sino. If only you hadn't arrived now, I could already have...
Enough conjecture. What has happened is already part of the past. You cannot bring the dead back to life. In the end, the treasures you seek are nothing but myths and legend.
Since you're so sure, why don't you just let me open the door and see then?
No. I sense danger behind that door. There will be dire consequences the moment you open it.
I beg you, as an old partner, can you let me fulfill my last wish just this once? Surely you get it by now. Doing your job without mercy will only drive people away from you. I'm the prime example.
I don't overthink things. If there is only one way for me to defend my principles, then that is the path I will take.
Seems there's no convincing you. All right then. Let's see if your polearm skills have improved at all. This power is mine. I will set things right no matter what comes.
Solidify!
Judgment is upon you.
Guilty!
As I thought.
Your strength.
You feel it, don't you? I'm stronger than you remember. I gained new power when I entered the Court of Desolation. This is only a taste of it. Once I open the door behind me, this power will be complete. Even life and death will have no grip on me.
I won't let you open that door.
I wouldn't be so sure. I'm afraid it won't be easy to stop me now that you're injured. Or are you ready to sacrifice your life for this?
I'll do what I have to.
I still remember when we first became partners. You were always charging forward and putting your life on the line, just like now. Even after all this time, you still haven't changed.
You haven't changed either. You left that list of names and map in your house on purpose, didn't you? You wanted me to be able to find you here. All of this was just part of the act you were putting on. What happened just now was also part of your plan. You might have fooled those on the list, but you will not fool me. I had my suspicions from the beginning, but I couldn't be sure until we fought. If he really had changed, your fighting style wouldn't be as it was before.
Huh? What do you mean, Sino?
He never planned on opening the door. His true intention was...
What's happening?
Seems our time is running short. Let me make this quick then. After Mortada died, my spirit was crushed. For a long time, I was hoping this reality was just some terrible nightmare. I hoped I would just wake up and be able to see his smiling face again. That is when I was approached by someone who wished to collaborate and find the Court of Desolation together. I did some investigation of my own and discovered they were part of a massive organization. People from every walk of life are involved. They are relentless in their search, pouring countless mora into secret research, even sacrificing lives in hopes that the Court of Desolation would appear.
No wonder banning the research wasn't enough. A full-scale operation was already in motion.
I'm a flesh and blood human like anyone else, so I obviously hesitated and considered it. The thought of bringing my son back tugged at my heart, but in the end, I came to my senses. I knew that I could not let myself go down that path. I suddenly came to a realization amidst my suffering. The Court of Desolation, a place that once drove people to tragedy, was still doing so, even centuries later. As long as this place exists, people will recklessly seek it out, just as Mortada did, generation after generation, regardless of the cost. Let it be buried beneath the sand forever. Once the Court of Desolation is gone, there will no longer be anyone obsessed with seeking it out. That's right. I acted as if I had abandoned my convictions just so that they would cooperate without raising any suspicion. This was the only way I could find and destroy this place. But that wasn't enough. I needed someone I could trust to bring the organization to justice. The Academia forbids the research of the Court of Desolation, so they would never approve my plan in the first place. To add to the problem, the organization is so powerful that they even have members working within the Academia. If I wished to destroy the organization, I couldn't just count on the Academia alone.
So, you pretended to be the one behind all this, as a test for me.
Yes. I'm sorry, but now I am assured. You haven't changed at all. You are still as you always were, fearless, and making no compromise. Anyway, this place is collapsing. You must leave.
Wait! Aren't you leaving too? There are still loads of bad guys to catch outside!
His fate is already sealed. There is no life left inside him. He is like a candle with no more wick to burn. You planned it all from the very beginning, didn't you? Risking being treated as a traitor to collaborate with them. Sacrificing your own life to open and destroy the Court of Desolation.
Regardless, I made a grave mistake by allowing the smuggling and the research of this place. Let this be the final judgment on myself. I was always so busy with work that I never made time to fulfill Mortada's wishes. Finding this place was his biggest wish. Since I'll be reuniting with him here, I can only hope he won't have anything more to hold against me. I'll leave all those people on the list to you. Sorry for all the trouble I've caused.
There's nothing to be sorry for. We are partners. If you see Mortada, send him my greetings. Goodbye, old friend.
Dad, why are they so strict with me? I'm always the only one who gets in trouble.
Just leave me alone! Don't worry, I won't damage your precious reputation.
Alright, Dad. Let's start over. By the way, I finally found an area of research I wish to pursue. Why can't you show even a little leniency? Why?
Because we are Matra.
Huh? The Court of Desolation has...
Just as Taj said, that place had caused too many disasters and tragedies. Being buried in quicksand is its rightful end. To them, as long as there's Mora to be made, they will disregard the Academia's rules, whether it's the Court of Desolation or anything else. Their only goal is to make massive profits off of dangerous research. Taj may have set them back with the Court of Desolation, but it won't be long before they continue searching for another target. That's an opportunity that I will not let them have.
We'll help too.
Thank you, but you've already done enough. Just leave the rest to me. I will bring them to justice myself. Besides, I promised you that I would sweep away any potential danger. So, that's what I'm going to do. Wait for me at Caravan Rebob 4 days from now.
I wonder when I'll be as tall as my big sister. I'll be as tall as my big sister.
We meet again. Thank you so much for all your help.
Nabil, what are you doing here?
Convicts from the desert are being escorted through Caravan Ribat, so I'm here to keep an eye on things. This should be the last group of them, so I'll be heading back to the Academia once they're cleared. The last few days have been quite the ride, but fortunately, I can say with confidence that this case is finally coming to an end. At first, the mercenary groups on the list were putting up quite a fight. They made several desperate attempts to cover up the truth. However, Sino crossed the desert and took out their main camp overnight. After that, people on the list started to put pressure on the higher-ups within the Academia. Everyone was on edge, and the case came to a standstill.
And? Then what happened?
Well, then we received word that Taj Rudkani had sacrificed himself on the case. The news really stirred up the members of our ranks. The Matra then moved together against the enemy. We cleared out the traitors from within the Academia and arrested all the researchers on the list. Some of them managed to get out of the Academia, but still failed to escape. The scattered criminals were captured by Sino all across Sumeru. I even heard that someone was about to escape to Fontaine, but was still apprehended just at the border. Having more than 300 prisoners apprehended for interrogation has definitely shaken things up recently.
Is Sino alright? He didn't get injured, did he?
He seems fine, but nobody knows the real situation. He brought over 300 suspects to judgment all on his own. Among them were even some of our former colleagues. Not just the criminals are afraid of him. Even we start feeling a little nervous when he's around now. But even if we start feeling all self-conscious, thinking if we've done anything wrong, we're still always honored to have Sino around. By the way, are you guys here to see Sino? I think I just saw him walking in that direction when I was on watch nearby. He was walking with someone I didn't recognize, and then before I knew it, they were nowhere to be seen. If you happen to see him, please send my regards.
Sure thing, Nabil. You be careful too. Don't let any of those bad guys escape.
Don't worry about me. If anything happens, you can find me at the Academia anytime. Farewell then.
Trying to single-handedly bring 300 people to justice must feel pretty exhilarating, but I can assure you this is certainly not the best solution.
I'm aware. However, I learned something unexpected during interrogation. Apparently, someone had enticed Murtada Radkani into becoming interested in researching the Court of Desolation. Murtada had lived in his father's shadow all his life. Naturally, he wanted to conduct research that would seem groundbreaking and significant. After Murtada died, the organization tried to use Taj's shame regarding his son to add him to their ranks, toying with others' minds, treating lives like dirt, and doing anything for their own interests. This makes me angry.
Fine, I understand. This is a type of trap I've been working on which uses plants. Here, take some just in case you need them next time. If thrown into the mud, the trap will grow rapidly and disperse a pollen that has a paralyzing effect. I don't have much use for the traps these days, but maybe you will, and can help me collect more testing data.
Sino! Tighnari! Oh, so Tighnari must be who Nabil saw earlier! Are you also here to see Sino?
That's right. Sino asked me to collect some medicinal herbs to treat a girl named Simin. I also dropped by just to check for any injuries. He seems to be fine physically, but he looks a little more lonely than I remember. And Sino, relax. You don't always have to look so serious, you know. Why don't you play more Genius Invocation TCG, huh? Kale has always been a little wary of you, and your stern expression certainly isn't helping.
How is Kale these days?
She's grown a bit taller, but her grades could use some improvement. She still made many mistakes on her last test, even after I had marked all the important content in the book for her. After some time, I plan on having her go outside more. It just so happens that I have something she can help me with.
Huh? You mean Kale is leaving Avidia Forest? What happened?
I've asked her to host some ad hoc lectures to teach the dangers of canned knowledge, as well as how to use it safely. Although we've apprehended all the criminals behind the recent smuggling case, there are many people who are still curious and seek canned knowledge. So, I decided to ask her to work on increasing knowledge and awareness on the topic. Please be sure to keep an eye on her.
I will.
If anything else happens, the three of you can find me in the Avidia Forest. Take care.
I've already caught those who were preparing to attack you in secret. Even if some criminals did slip through our fingers, they wouldn't know that you were involved in the case. So you can relax.
But what about you, Sino?
It's still not time for me to rest yet. Those who died have fulfilled their wishes, but those who are alive must continue pressing forward. I've been thinking about what Taj said in the Court of Desolation these last few days. His words were not empty. People do change, and no belief can completely resist the erosion of time. I just hope my own change will come slowly, so that I can press on a little further. That way, those who see me as their superior, and those who are following in my footsteps, will learn courage from my example, just as I gained courage from my own superiors, and my partner. I'll be fine. I'm also enjoying my chat with you right now, you know. There are many things I feel better about once I start to talk about them. Many people want to go to the desert to offer condolences for Taj. But I didn't share details with anyone. I'd prefer to avoid revealing the location of the Court of Desolation. One day, I'll gather some flowers that grow in arid desert conditions. And then, I was hoping you'd join me in planting them on the remains of the Court of Desolation.
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember.
This is our current abode. Ah, Fremine, you're home. Where did everyone else go? I have some new friends that I would like to introduce.
Oh, they all just went out a moment ago.
I see. Everyone is getting busier now that Father will be returning soon. I suppose that can't be helped. Allow me to introduce you to my little brother, Fremine. He is a phenomenal diver.
Hello.
Nice to meet you! Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler! Oh, you sound very proud to have a diver as a brother, Linny.
Linny, could you come here for a moment?
What is it, Fremine? Do you have something to tell me? Okay, I see.
Is everything all right?
Oh, it's nothing. We were just discussing a little housework. Sorry for the interruption. Oh, before I forget, the Traveler and I collected more materials to make magic pockets. Were you able to get any, Fremine?
Yes, I went diving and gathered lots of materials. I was about to give them to you.
That's our Fremine, always quick with the underwater work. All right, I'll take these to the workshop.
Looks like rain.
Oh, you're right. But wasn't it clear and sunny just a moment ago? Fontaine's weather sure is weird.
I'm afraid that's just how it is here. It often rains on days where there are trials being held in the Opera House, but don't worry, it'll clear.
What's wrong, Fremine?
There's a legend about the rain that I tend to believe. It's said that a dragon of water once resided in Fontaine. Though we don't know where the dragon went, every time it weeps, the skies will cloud up and pour out rain. When I was a child, my mother told me that if I wanted to go outside and play, I should yell toward the sky at the top of my lungs. Hydro Dragon! Hydro Dragon! Don't cry!
hydro dragon, then having the power to make it rain wouldn't be very unusual. Let Paimon try something. Hydro dragon, don't cry!
Doesn't seem to be of any use. It is just a legend after all.
You know, you might be a more popular magician if you understood the concept of romanticism. Or could at least play along.
Sorry. It might be because we've never met the Hydro Dragon. Perhaps it can't be comforted by the words of strangers. It rained for longer than I suspected. Oh, it's already getting late.
Was there something you needed to do, Linny?
Yeah, some preparations for the show at the Opera House. I need to find a way to catch the last aqua bus of the day. On the day of the performance, just ride the aqua bus to the island of Araneus. I'll have Lynette meet you at the fountain in front of the Opera House.
Oh, are you leaving now?
What is it, Fremine? I'm in a hurry. Oh, I get it. You feel nervous delivering the materials for the magic pockets, is that it? Perhaps we could trouble the Traveler to help us take these materials to the Beaumont workshop and deliver them to the owner there? I'm afraid that Fremine can be quite introverted, and the boss there tends to be pretty talkative. Fremine has always been a little afraid of her.
No trouble at all! Don't worry, we're on the case!
Sorry for the inconvenience. I'm quite useless when it comes to such tasks. I'll think of a way to make it up to you.
Oh, no need! This will be a walk in the park for us!
Oh, hello there. New customers? Looking to buy, or do you need something made? Or perhaps you're just looking for a chat with me.
Oh no, we're just here to deliver some materials. Here they are. They're for making... what were they called again?
Ah, these must be for magic pockets. I could tell right away. I've already made several orders worth now. No need. They've already prepaid several batches worth. When they told me what they'd be using them for, I even offered them a discount. But they insisted on paying the full amount, saying that I had a business to run. It seems both their hearts and their pockets are made of gold.
Whoa! So, is Linny actually loaded?
I can't say for sure, but who knows? Maybe there's good money to be made being a magician in Fontaine.
Hey! Is this machine what you use to make stuff here? It looks really advanced.
Why use your hands when a machine can do the work? It would be a waste not to use the latest technology, and wasting is a kind of crime.
But where does a big machine like that get its power from?
Well, it's a little complicated. I'm not sure I can put it in layman's terms for you. But basically, everything we usually use here in the city is powered by indemnitium. It's a type of energy that's produced from trials.
Huh? How can trials produce energy?
Well, I'm not completely sure of all the details myself, but basically, when a trial is in session, the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale harvests people's belief in justice and converts it into energy to be used all around Fontaine.
So that's what its other function is? Paimon heard that the Oratrice was created by the Archon to make judgments. But Paimon still doesn't get it. How could something unreliable like people's beliefs be turned into a stable power source for these machines? Oh, yeah! So that means the Hydro Archon relies on the machine to take the energy created by belief and turn it into power for all of Fontaine, right?
Even though I've never heard anyone really put it that way before, it sounds like it makes sense. Besides indemnitium, we have another type of energy called pneumosia. It isn't produced by the power of the Archon, but it is unstable by nature. Even now, it still cannot be widely used by civilians.
I thought I'd find you hard at work, but here you are chatting the day away. Since you're already talking, I'm sure you wouldn't mind a few words with me.
You again? Didn't I already promise you that I'd have the more I owe to Confrérie of Cabriere by next month? Why are you hounding me now?
Yeah, but how do we know that you won't go running off by the end of this month? I want 50% today. Wait, no, 70%.
Huh? You...
Seems business isn't so great for the workshop. We've already finished our job and delivered the materials. Maybe now's a good time to leave?
Hey, hold on! Before you go around trying to collect payments, why don't you settle your own debts first? If Confrérie of Cabriere wants to poach clients from Northland Bank, that's fine. But I'm afraid you still owe the bank a hefty sum of mora. So why don't we work things out between us first, before you get back to your little conversation here?
You're from Northland Bank. But we said we'll pay everything we owe next month. Why are you hounding me now?
Traveler, Paimon! I didn't think I'd run into you here in Fontaine. What are the chances?
We're surprised to see you too! What are you doing here in Fontaine? You didn't want to stay in Snezhnaya?
Long story short, I've already been in Fontaine for some time now, and honestly, things have been pretty boring. But it seems that fate brought our paths together today. Not only will I have some good friends here now, but ones who always seem to find trouble. Either way you look at it, it seems things are going to get a lot more interesting now.
Pretty sure we'd want to avoid anything that you'd find interesting. Besides, our trip here has gone pretty well so far. Right, Traveler?
Hey, you, Northland Bank boy. Aren't you forgetting something?
Don't interrupt. It's not often I run into the Traveler like this. Why don't you wait for me over there for a while?
You kidding? Aren't you the one looking for us? You really expect us to sit and twiddle our thumbs while you catch up with your friends? Listen to me, boy. If you want your Mora, fine. What?
Just said not to interrupt. Oh, by the way, Traveler, the last time I took Tonya and Tusser ice fishing, Tusser said...
Hey! That's way over the line! All right, boys, let's see who has to pay up now!
Can you at least let me finish one sentence? Fine. Though the bank told me not to get rough with our clients. You're the ones who started it. This is an act of self-defense. You two will have to be my witnesses, okay?
I'm sure this won't take long.
You can run, but you can't hide. Brace yourself. This is gonna hurt.
Oh, what's your deal, Brad? How are you so strong if you're just a staffer from Snezhnaya's Northland Bank? Wait, don't tell me you're...
Oh, now you notice. It's a little late, don't you think? Just make sure you understand that you don't mess with Northland Bank. Got it? Huh?
Now's my chance!
Huh. That was weird. I'm not sure. It's as if I suddenly lost control of my hydropowers when I needed them. Maybe there's something wrong with my vision?
Strange. How could that happen? First time Paimon's ever heard of someone losing control of their vision.
Never mind. It doesn't matter. If I want to stay sharp, I shouldn't be relying too much on my vision anyway. Besides, I always have my delusion in case I need it.
So what are you doing in Fontaine, child? And don't say it's work for Northland Bank.
Well, I guess it's because I've been in a bad mood lately.
Huh? What kind of reason is that? Wait, since when do you feel down about anything?
I don't know. Maybe I still have a lot to learn about myself. But recently, there seems to be some sort of restless power stirring inside of me. And I don't know why, but every now and then I feel like I'm in a terrible mood.
Maybe you losing control of your vision just now is connected with that power you're feeling inside.
That is a possibility. I can't remember if I ever mentioned it before, but when I was 14, I fell into some unknown abyss. It was during that time I learned nearly all of my abilities. The one who took me under her wing and taught me was named Skirk. She was always quiet and very mysterious. Nobody knew where she came from or what she had been through, and she was always very strict when teaching me combat techniques. One time, I asked her why she was willing to take me on as an apprentice. From what I could make of her answer, it was because I had awakened it, and traces of it remained on me. She said that all my combat training would be useful in the future.
But what is it? What did you awaken?
She never explained that. But my guess is that it's related to a dream I saw when I had just fallen into that abyss. In my dream, I was in the deepest depths of the sea, and the boundless seabed was all around me. But in front of me appeared a whale that was so massive, I felt like I couldn't breathe.
A whale? Oh, that sounds familiar! When we fought against you before, you summoned a huge whale that seemed to leap at us. Is that the one?
That's just an abstract form of a whale that I create using my elemental powers. It takes that shape because the scene I dreamt of the whale has always been stuck in my mind. I'll never forget it.
So you used the whale as inspiration for one of your moves? Huh. Seems a little twisted to Paimon. So why don't you just go ask your master? Maybe she knows the answer.
You make it sound so easy. Ever since the incident I experienced there, I've never stopped searching for Master Skirk and that unknown abyss. But it's been years now, and I've still found nothing. There isn't even a trace of the place where I remember falling into the abyss.
Oh, it sounds like some kind of ghost story.
Yeah, I'm out of leads at this point, but there's nothing more I can do. It seems that strange encounters in this world tend to be elusive like that. Oh, seems the time really flies when I'm talking with you. I just remembered I have somewhere else I need to be, so I should get going.
What? More work for the Northland Bank?
No, it's more of a personal appointment. Lately, I've been sparring with some of Fontaine's official champion duelists whenever I'm feeling bored.
Official champion duelists? You mean it's their job to duel?
Yep. In Fontaine, before a criminal goes to court, they're given one chance to defend their honor by requesting a duel with an official champion duelist. The champion duelists are all-powerful fighters selected from among the nation's best. And the duel itself is a no-holds-barred fight with no specified stopping point. So engaging in such a duel is regarded as a symbol of defending your honor. If a criminal manages to win the duel, they'll be acquitted. But if they lose, they'll have no choice but to stand trial. And the worst-case scenario is that you're simply killed in the duel. Though it's rumored that Fontaine has a death penalty. From what I can tell, no one has ever been officially sentenced to death. So really, the only people who opt to duel are those who have suffered a grave injustice in being accused, or those who greatly value their honor. Otherwise, why gamble with your life?
So, do many people actually get out of their trials by winning the duel?
Apparently, it's exceedingly rare for anyone to actually win. Fontaine probably enacted this system as a way to show that the nation respects the honor of its citizens. Besides, none of the champion duelists are to be trifled with, which is exactly why I was itching to face them as soon as I got to Fontaine. Apparently, the one I'm meeting today, Clorinde, is the strongest of the champion duelists. I had been asking her for some time before she finally agreed to face me today.
Well, that's child for ya. Paimon feels like we heard that name somewhere before. Clorinde.
Oh, before I forget, I want you to have this.
Huh? Your vision? You're seriously just giving it away?
I'm just worried that it could become uncontrollable again. I'd be pretty upset if it got in the way of my duel, so I think I'll be better off without it for now. Besides, I just need you to hold on to it for a short while. I'll come retrieve it when I have some time later.
Paimon knows what you're up to. You just want an excuse to come talk to us again, don't you?
Whatever gave you that idea? I'll be in touch later.
That sneaky guy. He said he's been feeling down lately, but he seemed the same as ever to Paimon. Well, since we don't have much to do for now, we might as well walk around and see the city before Lenny's performance. Wow! Who could have seen that coming? The reporter who was barely around for most of the story was the murderer all along! Sorry. Paimon was just surprised, that's all. Paimon never saw that twist coming. The murder mystery novels here are amazing! The whodunits here in Fontaine are a lot different than the light novels you see from Yai Publishing House. Both have their merits, but Paimon thinks this style of novels are more, well, novel. It's so exciting to reach the moment when the mystery is uncovered, especially in the one Paimon was just reading. You should buy a copy and read it too. Oh, sorry about that. Paimon will be more careful next time. Hey, shouldn't we be heading to the Opera House to see Lenny's performance soon? It's almost time for the show to start, so we should get going. Lenny said that the Opera House is on Aranias, so let's go ride the Aquabus! What a place to hold a performance! No wonder Lenny and Lynette were looking forward to it. Huh. Looks like there's a lot of people standing around the fountain up ahead.
Oh, Archon, please bless us with a bright and healthy child. We pray.
I don't know why you always feel the need to ask so much. I'll be happy as long as our child is healthy and lives a peaceful life.
I guess if they're our kid, then there's no doubt they'll turn out smart.
Maybe this is one of the customs in Fontaine. There sure are a lot of couples here.
Vache.
What's wrong?
Vache. Vache.
No, Paimon didn't say anything. Are you hearing things?
Welcome to the Fountain of Lucine. All the water flowing through Fontaine converges here. It's customary for newlyweds to come here and wish for children.
Lynette! You scared Paimon! Why did you get here?
Lenny asked me to wait here for you, remember?
Right.
What do you mean? There are a lot of people here right now.
Scare Paimon, are you? Besides, it's the middle of the day. It's not the time for eerie things.
I see. I might be able to tell you something that could help explain the voice you heard. In fact, you might not be imagining things at all. I suspect that what you heard is a result of your hypersensitivity to the hydro element. Others in my family have had similar experiences.
It's because of his sensitivity to the hydro element? But what would hearing a voice have to do with elemental power?
When do you cry, Paimon?
Wait, what? What does that have to do with anything?
Just answer me. When do you cry?
When Paimon's really sad? Oh, and when Paimon's super happy. Oh, and also when Paimon's really, really scared.
Then you should understand that tears contain your most intense emotions. Like I just mentioned, the Fountain of Lucine is where all the flowing water in Fontaine converges. Even the tears that fall to the ground will eventually gather here. So maybe what you heard was the intense emotion coming from someone's tears.
What did the voice say? Huh. If you were hearing their emotions, then Paimon wonders what happened to them.
Rather than worrying about them, we should worry about my brother first. Don't let that calm look of his fool you. He tends to get pretty nervous just before a performance. So chatting with Linny might help him relax a little before he goes on stage.
Oh, right. That makes sense. Let's go in and see Linny. I wonder where humans come from. I prefer magic personally.
Traveler and Paimon, good to see you. I knew you two would come.
Are you kidding? We wouldn't miss it for the world. We've been looking forward to it.
I can tell, judging by how early you've arrived. But you're actually right on time. The audience still hasn't started entering the venue yet, which means now is the perfect chance for us to take you to the best seats in the house. Wait just a moment. I'll fetch the tickets. The Opera House has assigned seating, so you always have to make reservations. I've already reserved your seats, and here are your tickets.
Ooh, front row seats! Thanks, Linny!
Don't mention it. There's no need to keep thanking me.
Hey, Linny! Could you come over here and take a look at this?
Oh, I'll be right there. Seems there's an issue with the stage props over there. That's Cal, my assistant, calling me. I'll go lend him a hand.
Yeah, we'll just go to our seats. You go ahead, Linny. These should be our seats. Come on, let's sit down. Hey, Traveler. Maybe we should strike up a conversation with the person next to us. Since we're sitting together and the rest of the place is practically empty still, it's kinda awkward if we don't say anything. Ah, you little... Of course you put this on Paimon.
Excuse me, I did not realize you felt awkward. I am terribly sorry. I would be perfectly happy to chat with you if that is what you would like.
Oh, so you heard all of that, did ya? Boy, you sure have good ears. Paimon thought she was keeping her voice down. Wait, that's not it, Paimon's... Sorry, Paimon's the one who was being rude, talking under her breath like that. So, let's talk, but, what should we talk about? Oh, Paimon's got it. You're also here early and sitting in the front. Are you...
A friend, you say? Well, if Mr. Linney would like to be my friend, I would be more than happy to reciprocate.
Oh, so you're not friends with Linney, then. Oh, this is getting more awkward by the second. Paimon nearly forgot to make her introduction. Nice to meet you. Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler. We just arrived in Fontaine.
It is an honor to meet you two. I have heard of your deeds across Tevat, and as required by proper etiquette, I will also introduce myself. I am...
Oh, Monsieur Nervillet. What an honor it is to have you here to see my show.
Ah, Mr. Linney. I should say it is in fact an honor for me to see your performance in person.
Wait, Nervillet? Could he be...
I saw you all chatting just now. Allow me to introduce you to Fontaine's Chief Justice. That seat is always reserved for him. It wouldn't be too much to say that he's the symbol of justice and honesty here in Fontaine.
Whoa! Sorry for being so rude just now. Paimon had no idea you were such an important person.
No offense taken. Being Chief Justice is merely what I do for work. Nearly every person has their usual reserved seat, so I'm not so special, really. And by the way, I should probably let you know, even though I would prefer not to. There's someone sitting up there in the VIP seats that has been striking a pose for quite a while now. I believe she is trying to give you a most elegant and impressive first impression. So I think you should take notice of her sooner rather than later, otherwise she may become flustered.
Huh? Oh, it's Farina, the Hydro Archon. Huh. She sure has a smug and satisfied look on her face. Guess she has no idea that you saw right through her act.
Very good. That is for the best. No need to pay her any more attention. We may now enjoy the show.
Huh? So is this what things are like between the Chief Justice and the Hydro Archon?
All right, please wait just a moment longer. I've pretty much finished my preparations, and the performance will start as soon as the audience has made their way to their seats.
Yay! The show's finally about to start! Paimon can hardly wait! Paimon's never seen a real live magic show before! Oh! They're dimming the lights! The show must be starting! Sorry. Paimon will try to stay quiet.
Welcome, one and all, to the Opera Epiclese. I am the star of today's show, Linny. And over here is my sister, Lynette, who will be working as my wonderful assistant. Please, let's give her a warm welcome.
Hello, everyone.
I know she may seem to be a little sleepy right now, but that's just a sign that she's nervous.
Whatever.
Now, some of you may be thinking, two vision holders who can freely manipulate elemental powers performing magic is not true magic at all. So, I would like to take a moment to assure you that elemental powers will have nothing to do with what you will witness on the stage today. Both Lynette and myself have removed our visions for the show. That way, even the gods won't be able to help us.
Oh, good point. That's what makes the show real magic.
Now, without further ado, let the show begin. Lynette will now exit the stage to make some preparations. I know you might miss her, but don't worry. She'll be coming right back on stage momentarily. Perhaps in an unexpected way. I'm sure she'll be stealing the spotlight soon enough. Oh, and before I forget, there's one more thing I should say. You never know what can happen in the blink of an eye. A magician's greatest skill is making things disappear or appear. The possibilities are endless. But this isn't what you came for. These little tricks, you've seen them all before. So it's time for something truly extraordinary, don't you think? This one's a little tricky. Using this water tank, I shall make my sister vanish completely, right before your very eyes. It's actually quite simple. She'll just turn into air bubbles and float right out of the top. Oh no! I told them to check all the props carefully. With the lid on, even air can't escape. An amateur magician would be getting very nervous right around now. Luckily, it's me on stage, so let me show you what a true virtuoso can do. Lynette, are you still there? Don't go too far. We don't want to use up all our magic.
Hi, I'm back.
Uh-huh.
If we could see easily through his tricks, then that would mean that his skills are still lacking. To appreciate magic, you should focus on the show happening on stage, rather than getting caught up in trying to see that which has been intentionally hidden.
Guess you're right. Paimon couldn't believe her eyes when Lynette reappeared. Amazing!
Thank you everyone. I'm glad you enjoyed that performance. But our magical journey has only just begun. I've prepared even more astonishing surprises for everyone here. The magic of transformation and disappearance can go far beyond what you've just seen. I'm sure many of you are thinking that escaping the water tank was impressive enough, but Lynette is still my assistant after all. In which case, I have ample time to make all necessary preparations. So, for my next trick, I will require the participation of one lucky audience member. Please, if my assistants could bring out the magical boxes now. There are 2 boxes, and only 2 boxes. One is here, and one is there in the aisle among the audience. I'm sure many of our clever audience members have already guessed our next magic trick. A swap! Our lucky audience member and I will each enter a magic box. After 1 minute, we will each emerge from the opposite box. Now please, everyone pay very close attention to the box you see here. Don't give me any chance to make a move.
Wow! How's he gonna do this? Hey, do you think this is all magic tricks, or does Lenny have actual superpowers?
The lucky audience member will be generated by this random number selector. It selects numbers entirely at random. Even I don't know who will be chosen to participate. Now then, let's begin. Let me see. Oh, row 7, seat 3. Congratulations! You now have the chance to experience magic firsthand for an entire minute. Please, come forward. My assistant will take you beside the magic box. I'm sorry, it might be a little cramped inside, but no need to feel nervous. We've carefully arranged everything for you to be as comfortable as possible. You don't need to do anything, but no matter what strange things may happen, don't come out of the box. If the magic is interrupted, who knows where you might end up? You might even find yourself in the Fortress of Meropide.
Oh, okay.
All right. Before I enter the magic box, there is one more thing I need to ask the audience to do. Could you all give me a countdown? Like this. 60, 59, 58. Just keep counting down. You can go a little faster or slower if you like. I won't be able to see anything in the pitch black box, so I'll be relying on your voices to know when time is up. Oh, and no tricks now. If you quickly count from 60 in just 30 seconds, then I'll be in a tough spot.
Ooh! Paimon kinda wants to count faster after hearing him say that!
No, that won't do. I can see it in your eyes. You still can't be trusted. Let's practice together. Come on, repeat after me. 60, 59, 58.
60, 59, 58!
That's right, perfect. Keep it going. All right, I'll see you all on the other side once you've finished counting.
$54, $53, $52? Huh? Why aren't you counting, Nervalet?
I am counting in my head. I think things are exciting enough in here as it is. Merely a consequence of my identity and personality. Do not worry about me. Just enjoy the show.
Oh, all right. You look so serious that Paimon thought you might be feeling uncomfortable or something. 40, 39, 38!
Mr. Linney, are you all right in there? Is everything ready?
Yes, I'm fine. I'm just double-checking the direction of the magic. It would be a disaster if we get sent to the wrong places. For example, mid-air right above the audience.
Not at all. What was that noise? Did you hear it too? Not sure. Anyway, it doesn't seem like anyone's worried about it.
25! 24! 23! What's wrong, Mr. Linney? I can still hear you moving in there.
I seem to have accidentally knocked over a decoration. I'm trying to fix it, but it's pitch black in here. I can't tell left from right.
Never mind the decorations. There's no time for that. The show is what's important.
No, that's unacceptable. I want my show to be perfect. Don't worry, we still have 20 seconds. Hear them counting?
19! 18! 17!
It seems things aren't quite going as planned. I apologize, everyone. It feels like you're all starting to count faster, but that's all right. I know it can be tiring to do such a long countdown. 10 seconds and change is still plenty of time.
10!
Almost there now.
8!
Swapping two people is harder work than you might think. Even a master magician like me can't guarantee I'll get it right the first time. Hey, wait! Is this the back one? I can't tell. They both look the same inside. Huh? No, that's not it. I'll try again.
7!
Hey, slow down! Honestly!
5! 4!
doesn't count!
0!
Ta-da!
Is this part of the show? Mr. Lenny, you're going to use magic to fix the stage now, right?
What happened?
Oh no. Maybe this isn't part of the show. The girl was still in that box, right?
This performance is over. Medical staff with me. Guards, secure the scene and detain all the performers. Seal the exits. No one is allowed in or out at this time.
Yes, that's right. If this was just an accident, then we must investigate the cause. But if this was all part of some scheme, then those accountable will not escape the judgment of the God of Justice.
No need to be alarmed, you two. We'll get to the bottom of this soon enough. Unfortunately, the person who is in the magic box has been pronounced dead. His name was Cowell, one of the assistants in Linny's magic troupe. Apparently, the fireworks on stage ignited the ropes that were suspending the water tank, which then caused the tank to fall onto the stage. As of now, we are still not sure why we found Cowell in the box, rather than the guest from the audience. And after an initial search of the area, the guards have confirmed that the girl is nowhere to be found. It appears that this incident was not merely some mishap with the performance, and there are many indications that it is connected with the case of the serial disappearances of young women.
The serial disappearances case?
That's the case that Charlotte mentioned before!
I know the truth. I can see through the whole thing. Really, using such a shallow and obvious mystery as his finale. Did he really underestimate us that badly? I say that our powerful magician, Mr. Linny, is now the prime suspect for the serial disappearances case.
Huh? Why me? This whole thing was an accident.
No, this all occurred during your magic show, did it not? The missing girl disappeared after being chosen, did she not? The deceased is one of your assistants, is he not? Now that I think about it, that whole speech about magicians making things disappear was nothing more than a provocation, a bald-faced challenge.
That can't be right! How can Linny do this? He was in the box on the stage the entire time! We can even hear his voice! Besides, before the show, he told us that he would like to catch the criminal behind the disappearances! He couldn't possibly mean catching himself!
Save discussion for a later time, please. Lady Farina, may I assume that your comments just now constitute an accusation against Mr. Linny and his associates, and that you are pressing charges?
Huh? I just think that I think it might be a little early to talk about formally pressing charges.
But what Lady Farina said just now makes perfect sense. Looks like she's gonna personally deliver justice.
A kidnapping and murder carried out under the cover of a magic show. Lady Farina said it all.
I mean, of course, my dear people. But what excites me even more than the obvious truth before our eyes is the opponent I'll be facing. That's right. I mean you, Traveler. You'll support Linny, won't you? After all, he was the one who helped you the first time we met. Then there's no problem at all. You know, the Traveler and I already had a duel the first time we met. But with Linny's help, our little duel ended in a draw. But draws really are the most boring possible outcome. So no more draws. Between the two of us, there must be a clear winner and loser. And what better place to hold such a riveting showdown and decide the true victor than here, on the grandest of stages, the Opera Epiclese.
Huh. It wasn't a draw. She obviously lost last time.
I understand. Charges have now been pressed, and as such, a trial is in order. Well, Traveler, seems Lady Farina has set you in her sights. But putting her dramatic rhetoric aside for a moment, I would like to ask you, are you willing to act as Mr. Linny's attorney and defend him in this case? Very well. The trial will be held a day from now in the Opera House. Both sides may investigate the scene to build their cases and search for the truth. Linny and his troupe are all potential suspects and shall remain within the Opera House. The audience may begin to leave in an orderly fashion once they have been cleared by the guards.
A day isn't that long. Let's see what kind of case this big-shot Outlander can build in such a short amount of time. I'm really quite looking forward to hearing it.
Linny!
Sorry about everything that happened just now. Were you frightened?
Of course! Scared after witnessing an accident like that.
Yeah, I'm a little shaken up myself. How could this happen? And poor Cal. I know you already claimed that you would defend me, but now it's just us talking. Tell me, do you think I could possibly be the murderer? Good to hear. Thank you so much for trusting me. I'm sure everyone sees me as the biggest suspect at this point. But, if you ask me, the whole thing is mysteries layered upon mysteries, such that all that's left is confusion. I don't know whether what happened there on the stage was purely an accident or not, and I don't know why poor Cal was in the box. As for how that girl chosen from the audience could suddenly disappear, I'm afraid I don't have any answers either. If someone tampered with my performance, then we need to figure out what they did. Even a skilled and knowledgeable magician like myself couldn't pull all that off in just 1 minute.
Which is precisely why we need to investigate! As this book says, the impossible could not have happened. Whatever happened must have been that which is possible. Paimon bought them when we were reading at the bookshop in the city earlier. Pretty cool, huh? Don't worry, Paimon used her own savings to buy them. It wasn't from our travel funds.
I think they look cute on you, Paimon.
You have good taste, Lynette!
That's the right attitude. Feeling depressed isn't going to help me now. I need to get back to my normal self, but with the guards watching our every move, it's going to be especially difficult for Lynette and I to prove our own innocence. Good thing you agreed to be our attorneys. Thanks for that. We'll be counting on you.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah, just leave it to us. Oh, since we're going to start investigating, Paimon has a question first. Where did Lynette go during the performance?
Well, I'm afraid that would involve some of our essential trade secrets as magicians.
The secrets behind our magic are past saving, Linny.
I suppose you're right. The truth behind our tricks is going to be important evidence that will be weighted during the trial. 'Tis truly a pity. As a magician, our magic show is a work of art. We've poured countless hours and spared no effort in perfecting it. But if revealing our secrets will help you uncover the truth behind what happened, then it will be well worth it. We should go somewhere else if we're going to discuss our magic tricks. We'll go speak with the guards, and in the meantime, you can go investigate the stage and the seating areas.
Alright, let's go have a look while the investigation teams are still here. Detective Paimon is on the case! Hello, officer. How's the investigation going?
Ah, I see. You must be the traveler that Lady Farina mentioned. Listen, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I'd avoid getting mixed up in this whirlpool of a mess if I were you.
Huh? What do you mean?
Come with me and you'll see. The deceased is one of Linny's assistants, named Cowell. Even though he hadn't joined the troupe long, he was hardworking and everyone generally liked him. The assistants are usually in charge of setting up and inspecting the props, as well as assisting with the show and keeping the crowd engaged. As you probably saw when you were in the audience, the water tank suddenly fell and smashed the box with Cowell inside it. This is the real mystery. We've already searched the scene and were unable to find any traces of the girl. However, if you look carefully, the box was positioned directly under the water tank. The ropes holding the tank were then burned by the pyrotechnics on stage, causing them to snap. All these factors lining up so perfectly makes it hard to see this as a mere accident. If anything, the more logical explanation is that the whole incident was intentionally planned, and Linny is the most likely person to have access to all these areas.
But he doesn't have a motive!
Are you both good friends of his?
Well, you can't say we're good friends, but we've known each other for a little while.
So in just a short time, he was not only able to win your trust, but even convince you to act as his attorneys. I know there's no such thing as magic. The real trick of a magician is holding the audience in the palm of their hand. I've seen a lot of cases, and I can tell you that people are the least reliable kind of evidence. Sorry, I tend to be pretty straightforward. Just know that I'm warning you for your own good. Anyway, you may investigate the scene of the crime yourselves if you're curious. Who knows, maybe you'll be able to come up with some new evidence.
The investigation team has some new findings. Turns out there's an issue with the random number selector after all.
See, I told you. What if the machine picked some big guy's seat? You think the murderer would have still made his move then?
Sorry to interrupt, but we're helping Linny and Lynette with their side of the investigation. What were you saying about the number selector? There's something wrong with it?
You're trying to help them? That'll be a tall order.
Linny used the machine to pick a random member of the audience during his performance, right? The lucky girl that later disappeared. Well, we thought there might be a serious problem with the machine, so we had it taken away for further inspection.
It turns out that the seat number it picked wasn't random at all. The machine picks that same number every time. I'm sure you already know that you have to make a reservation in advance to get a seat, regardless of whether it's a trial or some performance. In other words, Linny knew who would be sitting where from the very beginning.
That much checks out. Linny reserved our seats for us, too.
Bet you see why I was saying it'd be tough to make a case for Linny.
Even though it's bad for Linny's case, Paimon had better write it down. So this is the rope that broke and caused the water tank to fall. The rope looks pretty durable. How can it be burned through so quickly by fireworks? Why are this, Traveler. Whoa. Look! This bit is made from different material! Most of it was burned away, but there's still a little bit of it left. Huh. So if a rope meant to hold something was made with that kind of material in it, then that means... Wait! Paimon should write all this down! Let's take notes! Hello there! What are you investigating?
Oh, this location has also been cordoned off because the Magic Troop members are currently considered prime suspects. The investigation team is still collecting evidence. The missing woman's identity by checking the guest list. Sure, it's not like this is confidential information. We will publish it later anyway when we petition the public to help us find the missing person. Her name is Halsey. She's a painter from Fontaine who's made a bit of a name for herself. Apparently, she wasn't a regular at the Opera House, but she'd been feeling some pressure with her work lately, which made her decide to come see the magic show. The Magic Troop members all claim not to know her, and we have looked into her social connections. It seems that she has no personal grievances or conflicts of interest with the suspects. Simply put, she wasn't related to the Magic Troop at all, which matches the features of the previous serial disappearances.
Were the victims of previous cases also chosen at random?
That's how it seems to us, in any case. Apart from the fact that they were all young women of around the same age range, there really weren't any other connections between them.
Okay then.
No need to be so formal. If you do happen to see the missing girl, please be sure to contact us. It is of utmost importance that we get to the bottom of these disappearances.
I see that you're investigating the area. Well, it just so happens that I'm interested too. If you find any new and interesting leads, be sure to share them with me, alright?
We don't have too many thoughts yet.
Then why don't I tell you my hypothesis first? The way I see it. And I'll start it with that loud thud.
The thud? Oh, you mean the sound that happened during the countdown?
Yes, exactly. It wasn't terribly loud, but I suspect that most people heard it. It's just that everyone was awaiting the results of Lenny's trick with bated breath, so no one paid it much mind. But now that the incident has happened, the thud has become an important clue.
That makes sense. So, what do you make of it?
I'm of the opinion that it may have been the sound of Lenny's accomplice. Lynette, perhaps. Jumping atop the water tank, or something like that. And when the pyrotechnics went off, she cut the rope, sending the water tank crashing down.
But wasn't the noise we heard too loud for that?
Perhaps the balance wasn't right, leading to a particularly rough landing. Oh, that's true. I suppose I must reconsider.
That does remind Paimon, though. What was with that sound?
Lenny's still talking to the guards. It seems he'll have a lot of explaining to do. I think someone will be assigned to monitor us later, but that's alright. Lenny's still talking to the guards. I think someone will be assigned. Lenny's still talking to the guard. I think someone will be.
Lenny's magic tricks were the stuff of legends, but the way he did this crime, he should have stuck to doing magic.
Look, doing magic tricks is one thing. Pulling off crime is something else entirely. Maybe he was just too full of himself.